Hey everybody, what's up? It's Saturday. I'm here with my partners in hosting, Silent Ace 221 and Cerv. I'm in partner in hosting Mr. Solutions, and this is
Comic Cinema Clash.
Man, this is Comic Cinema Clash. One day they're gonna come out. I'm gonna say I'm Mr. Solutions, and they're gonna be like Comic Cinema Clash. It's gonna be so fucking sexy.
Nothing but
one day. But I am here with my two favorite people to hang out with on a Saturday. Silent Ace, Cerv, how you guys doing today?
Good, man. Fresh off of watching this Hit Monkey and just a bunch of things this week, man. I'm excited to be here.
Man, me too. Look.
Yeah.
So before we get into the top, so we're doing something a little off topic than we usually do. We're doing sci-fi in general. We're just gonna geek on some sci-fi stuff that we love. But before we do that, there is some really cool comic stuff that we did want to kind of mention last week that we didn't mention last week. So we just want to touch on those real quick. One of those is Hit Monkey. I told these dudes to watch Hit Monkey when it dropped 2 weeks ago. Cerv, you watched it this week, right?
Yeah.
And wasn't it phenomenal?
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that more people who enjoy Marvel TV and movie stuff, nobody's talking about it. Like zero. There is nobody talking about this anywhere. I follow a couple personalities and like nobody. And I didn't go into it with high hopes because, you know, the animation quality isn't amazing, but the art style is really what carries it.
Yep.
The humor is like just really, really good, man.
Jason Sudeikis kills it.
I will sit there and actually like really be laughing at a lot of things. Like, it's funny, but like this actually had me laughing. There were like moments where I was like on the floor rolling, man.
No, Jason Sudeikis kills it. The monkey actually kills it for saying no words. The monkey is actually incredibly fucking funny. The whole plot, which should not work, absolutely works. Like nothing about like pitching Hit Monkey. Like I don't know who wrote it and was like, this was a great idea. I don't know when they pitched it, the person was like, yeah, that's an excellent idea. But I'm glad it got through all of those check marks because Hit Monkey is fantastic.
Truly, because I have read Hit Monkey's books. He does not have many appearances. Like I can count on maybe one hand how many appearances he's had, you know, since his creation. It's not many. So the fact that they were like, let's make that into a TV show of all the characters we could choose from is surprising, and they made it work. They made it work really, really well.
Yeah, no. Also on the topic of Marvel television, Hawkeye dropped 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And I am really enjoying Hawkeye. That's all I got.
Are we all caught up?
I am not. I have not. I've been way too chaotic with work, ladies. So I am a little bit behind on some things.
That's okay. We're not going to really get into it or spoil it for you or the audience. We are going to say it's a mini series. So there's only 6 episodes, right? They dropped the first 2 episodes the first day. So, there's only 3 weeks left of Hawkeye, right? So we can kind of sit on it and we can chill and wait for everybody to get caught up and watch Hawkeye. I know not everybody is as excited as they should be about the series release.
And they really should be. I think that this is teasing some really big things to come later that I don't think fans are going to be ready for.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm really, really, really enjoying the Hawkeye series.
Yo, and they let. Did you watch the first 2 episodes at all, Abe?
Not one at all.
No, okay.
By all means, talk about it. I'm okay with it because I'm still going to watch it.
So I'm not going to spoil anything, but they finally let Hawkeye be Hawkeye. Hawkeye obviously doesn't have superpowers.
Right.
But the things that he does with his arrows, for me, I have always been disappointed that they never properly showed them in the movies. Because that's what makes him special, is all of the trick arrows and crazy stuff he does. This show finally let him do that.
Yo, some of these shots in this show are fantastic.
Oh, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And I'm talking about both the cinematic shots and the trick shots with the arrows. Like,
yes,
some of the whatever. But anyway, we're gonna leave Hawkeye for another time, for when Ace is not so hectic at work and he gets caught up. When you guys, the fans, are caught up, because I'm sure you guys are not watching it like super hardcore right now.
We might need to do an episode on that. Like,
yeah. What? I could really do Hawkeye at the end.
I'm okay with that.
I can save it to the end.
Yeah.
But I just know that both Cerv and myself are really, really enjoying Hawkeye, no matter what the haters are saying, because anything that has to do with empowering women or the disabled or anyone that is not, the status quo, and I'm not going to get all political, it gets hate on the internet.
And I don't like Hawkeye. I've never really been a fan in the comics or the movies, but man, I am in love with the show.
I'm also way in love with the show. And I can't say I've not been a fan of Hawkeye over the years. I absolutely read his run in the late 80s. That type. I like Hawkeye's cool. Whatever.
I like Kate. I've always liked Kate, but Clint, I don't hate him. It's just he's always been a so. He's there.
It's because he gets too wrapped up in the Avengers stuff.
Because when he did get his solo series 2 or 3 years ago, that was fantastic, and it had nothing to do with any Avengers or anything. But it was awesome to read. So
when he's getting to do spy level, stuff, or ground level superhero stuff, reading Hawkeye's dope, and it's generally about how displaced he feels in all this superhero-dom anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a superhero.
He knows he's out of place.
He's just a hero, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing super about him. Like, him and Frank Castle are the most least super people running around. They both should be dead.
Oh yeah, 100 times over.
Honestly, Black Widow should be dead too, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I mean, she does have superpowers, though, so.
I mean, are they really superpowers though?
She's got a comic Black Widow, not MCU Black Widow.
But she just developed those in the last 10 years, 15 years.
Oh no, she had those from the beginning. Super Soldier Serum was pumped in her real early.
I'm pretty sure in her early introduction there was no enhancement. She was just a spy.
At the very, very start, no, I think that was late 80s. They gave her a mild version of it.
Oh, well, see, yeah, even she's got superpowers, right? Then whatever. So even Nick Fury's got superpowers. He's even got a mild version,
giving everybody.
Well, no, that's how he's been alive for so long.
Yeah.
He's legitimately had a version of Super Soldier Serum since the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. It's the reason why the versions of him you see on Earth aren't even him. He's what did they call him? The man on the mountain or something like that, guarding Earth from space or some. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the title they gave.
Well,
but yeah,
I'm talking about old school Nick Fury. I'm talking about white Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Nick Fury when Nick Fury is white. Y'all,
Yeah, that's
y'all
what
don't
I'm
even
talking
know
about.
about when Nick Fury was white though.
Oh,
Oh, I know about White Nick Fury. I know about David
Give me 1
Hasselhoff
second, fellas.
Fury.
Word. But yeah. Anything else I'm missing comicdom that Ace probably did not catch up on, so we're not really, whatever.
I don't think so. That Hitmonkey one was probably it, and I mean that still deserves some respect. They just did a really fine job, and they
I loved
haven't
it.
confirmed the second season, but I kind of hope that they make one because while they don't have to, they kind of wrap things up. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more of that
I
humor,
want
that
more
art style.
Hitmonkey, and I don't
Yeah,
necessarily feel like it was wrapped up.
I mean they did leave a really big kind of teaser at
Yeah,
the end,
yeah.
so
No,
yeah, that could turn into something.
I really enjoyed Hitmonkey, and I'm really enjoying Hawkeye. I do
Yeah,
suggest giving them both a watch.
if they do a second season of Hitmonkey, I want at least one episode with a Deadpool team up.
Yeah,
Just one.
that would be nice.
Because those characters just go so well together.
Yeah, I really felt like we was gonna get some wisecrack this season with some Jason Sudeikis ghost wisecrack, and I really was like I really thought it was about to be an all out idiot fest. At least one
You know
episode.
what my favorite thing about the show was that he never really gave two shits whenever this monkey was like half beaten to death. Like
No.
it's almost like he was just like, go on ahead and die so that this can be over. Like I'm
for
just
us,
so
yeah.
tired of doing that. Like, oh man, you gotta watch out for that. You know?
Look. It was really genius. The reference humor, like, man, he just kept spewing the references like
Yeah,
a
man.
fountain.
Tons of them. They made that show for like OG comic fans. Even if you haven't read, Hitmonkey's very few comic appearances, they threw a lot of just OG comic.
They threw a
stuff
lot
on
of OG pop references. Just period. Like,
yeah, they did. There were so many. Man, the ghost reference from the movie.
yes,
They had all kinds.
like, yo, really, Hitmonkey's written genius. But Ace is back, so
sorry about that.
Yeah, we were a little late, so we're about 15 minutes into the show. We're going to do the actual show this week, which is our favorite sci-fi stuff. We're just going to geek out a little bit on sci-fi. There's a lot of sci-fi I've been watching recently that I'm just super excited about. I'm trying to get them to watch. I'm trying to get everybody to watch it. I want season 2s. I don't want them to go into non-existence because they are truly amazing shows. There's old sci-fi that I geek out about because I love it. Right? And then there's some sci-fi that people like that I freaking hate. Talk about some of that too, I think.
I bet you I know what it is.
What do you think I hate?
I bet you it's Star Wars.
You are absolutely wrong.
Really?
Don't do that to me, Cerv.
You are so.
I love Star Wars stuff,
That's
but
my
I don't think
premise.
I ever hear Steve talk about it. So
Okay, so I don't geek on Star Wars like other people geek on Star Wars.
And that's me all day.
I do appreciate Star Wars though. Like if some new Star Wars movie come out, damn right I want to see it. Right?
okay.
Star Wars comics, damn right I read them. Right? Little Star Wars things that come out, mostly I watch that stuff. I like Star Wars. Right? I just like, okay, there's this. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room before we go any further, because there's much cooler sci-fi than Star Wars and Star Trek.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
But the elephant in the room is, you either like Star Wars or you like Star Trek. I don't see why this has to be an either or thing, right?
I like both.
I enjoy both. I don't geek out over either, right? I enjoy all the Star Trek series. Like Picard is excellent. If you guys are not watching Picard, like that is an excellent show, right? I enjoy the Star Wars stuff. Like we just geeked out on Star Wars Visions, just 2 episodes ago, right? I enjoy those things, but I just enjoy them, right? I'm not like, oh, I gotta have a collection of Star Wars stuff in my room. Like, that's not whatever.
No, and you
right?
know what? For me, Star Trek is just something that I could never get into. I feel like as an adult, one of these days I'm going to go back and give it like a third or fourth chance. Just because when I was trying to get into them, I didn't know, I was very not knowing anything about science. And, it was a friend who's a real big fan of just all things Star Wars. It was like, oh, if you enjoy physics and real science, as an adult, give Star Trek another chance, and you'll find that you like it a lot. So, one of these days, I'll go back and start up one of the series. But every single time that I've given it a chance, I just find myself just like completely not interested. So, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I'm sure I might enjoy it a little bit more. But I don't even know where to start. So that's its own thing.
Oh yeah, I went ahead and started watching those. I wasn't so much into the shows itself from back in the day, because like even now it's sort of hard, and definitely with just the time frame, how everything was recorded and the productions and stuff like that. It's complicated. I get what the premise, what they're doing with it, but I think I lean toward more of the movies itself. I think, I mean, like even the 90s and all that from Star Trek, of those movies when they came out, and those were pretty decent at the time, and I just wasn't into them as much. I think just because in generally I didn't understand the concepts and what they were trying to do and this and the other, but now as I got older and it made more sense for me, it's like almost like watching Seinfeld. You didn't know what the hell Seinfeld was and what it was, the content was until you got older, and then you found that stuff completely funny. But that's how I feel about the shows in general. I just wasn't into them too much, but I would give it another go just because I want to make sure that I have it.
I have a much deeper perspective on Star Trek, and a much deeper respect for Star Trek than I do for Star Wars, to be honest. So, I'm going to do it like this, right? So, to compare the two, Star Wars is Apple, and Star Trek is Android. Okay, and I'm going to explain this a little bit better, right? So, Star Wars paints space saga as magical and fanciful, right? Yep. Which makes it appealing and attractive to most viewers, right? Star Trek paints space exploration as scientific and adventurous, right? And if you're in it for the long haul with the series, and I really would suggest starting Star Trek at Next Generation, right? There's a lot of love for James T. Kirk or whatever, right? And I get it because I am an original Star Trek fan, right? But if you didn't grow up watching Star Trek, I would start with Next Generation.
And that's honestly where I probably would start anyways, just because all of the stuff with, Kirk just seems so dated.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It suffers from villain of the week, really bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where Next Generation has some of that, but it also has a lot of continuity, right? Okay. It has a lot of returning characters, a lot of internal struggle on the ship, interpersonal struggle between the crew. There's, relationships and this and that. The holodeck is amazing, and it gives a lot of latitude for storytelling. So they don't always have to go planet side to tell a story, or even be internal to the ship. And what you see in the ship, they can go to like 1920s New York and tell us.
Yeah, I've seen some of those episodes.
So like Next Generation was really expressive. That's where most new Star Trek fans really get a chance to fall in love with the series. The movies are only extension of the series, so I don't really understand how you can really appreciate the movies without watching the series, because they're all based in what happened in the series.
Yeah, and that's what's killed me, because I've seen the movies, man, and I'm just like, I have no idea. I shouldn't have watched this. Like, every single time that I've watched one, it's been because some friend kind of nagged me to watch it. And by the time I watch it, I'm like, I'm realizing that this isn't for me. This is for an established fan base, Like,
yes, and that's the thing as well. Honestly, from prospectively, both the franchises, weighing them equally, Star Trek respects their fan base more.
Yeah, you know what, and I would agree with that. There are a lot of snobby Star Trek fans out there that also kind of pushed me away over the years, but they're, from my perspective, they're not really wrong about how highly they grade, the way that the stories are told, the universe is built. So
Star Trek it's a better universe.
Yeah, that's what keeps making me want to go back and give it another chance. It just loses me so fast. But last time I gave it a chance was like 10 years ago. So, it's maybe time I actually sit down and check it out.
But it surprised me that you said you didn't like Star Trek at all. Didn't surprise me at all that Ace is in love with Star Wars. I already know how he feels about that. But exactly. Ace, I want you to tell us why you love Star Wars, because I don't really sit on the love Star Wars camp at all.
Well, I mean,
I just like it.
Right. Well, you hit it on the head. It's like it's the magic, the fantasy, the different aspects of that appeal to people. I mean, obviously, I watched it as a kid. I mean, my first official movie, and I don't even remember it, but was Empire Strikes Back. That's when I first saw it, and then I saw it again years later. Obviously, it was just the aspect of just. It's the fantasy. It's living the reality of like flying through space and, having to fight all these different types of alien life forms or whatever, however you want to put it. And then just definitely the whole force aspect of it. It's that magical power. Like you're going to have the ability to utilize and, control things in a telekinetic sense and all these different types of styles of genres. I think lately, has been more toward the storylines of the Sith for me, because like some of the Sith stories are pretty screwed up and sad. Like,
well, you grew up.
Yeah,
that's what it is. When you grow up, you realize the villain is not really the villain.
Exactly.
Right? They just have their own motivations.
Yeah, so all of that was a whole, the grasp of it, just all the fantasy, all the magical beings in different worlds, and like you could travel to different worlds, different areas. But like I said, it is the background stories for, obviously the light, the good and the bad, but just the way they portray it and how one sees more high and mighty than the other, right? But the other gives it more, as you stated, when you come to adulthood. You don't see the villain as bad guys, a technical sense. Like you understand them more. You get what they're trying to do, and with the storylines of the Sith from Ventress down to who was the one I was just talking about the other day? Darth Raven and all. Yeah, Darth Raven. Yeah, so it comes down like you get a background story for those characters, and you understand what led them to become that way. You like what led them to. At one point, because in one aspect or another, some of the Sith that are Sith were initially force wielders for Jedi. They were Jedi apprentices and stuff like that. So then you see how they feel the Jedi is corrupt, and that whole backstory on that is to me what really catches me nowadays. But it was definitely the fantasy and the magical aspect of the movies, the shows. Lately has been obviously the storylines, how deep in depth they get into it. So yeah, that's pretty much why I'm like, I guess you could say, infatuated with like Star Wars and anything to do with Star Wars.
Okay.
You know what I really enjoy about Star Wars? Because I mean, these aren't
before you say that, and I want you to hold on to that thought.
Mm-hmm.
Cerv, I have a question for you. Scale of 1 to 10, Star Wars, where you at?
I'm 7. 7 feels right.
Okay, now I want you to go ahead and say exactly what you wanted to say.
Yeah, so these aren't complex stories. They're full of holes. The acting in a lot of the movies aren't really all that great, if I'm being honest. But I think what Star Wars does really good is, I'm sure all three of us can resonate, is it creates a really good memory between you and your family or your kids. Yes. Me and my son geeking out over Star Wars is some of the most fun movie going that I'll probably ever have with him my whole life. I introduced it to him when he was, still a toddler, and that stuff we talked about for years and just geeked out about it. And when Visions came, we geeked out about that and went nuts. And, we've had our little father-son lightsaber duels and, all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that it's really good at just creating those memories for families, things that you can talk about forever. But if I'm going to be critical from a storytelling perspective, I don't think giving it a 7 is almost a little generous, if I'm being honest, just because they don't really do a good job of telling a story.
No,
there are
I'm
tons of
massively
better.
critical of the story of Star Wars.
Yeah, there are tons of better sci-fi stories out there. One thing I absolutely hate is that they have such a large universe, multi-planet scaling system, and it very heavily revolves around Skywalkers.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they're done with that. The Sith are right. If I had to pick between the two, I'd be a Sith. I've been saying that for years because they're more honest. But they have to let heroes win, and that kind of ruins a little bit of their storytelling, to be honest.
Yeah. The enemy comparatively to Star Trek, right, which has multiple enemies because it's a universe, right?
Yes.
It's unrealistic that there's just this holy war going on throughout the entire galaxy between these two factions. And that drives all of the politics and everything that happens in the entire galaxy. It's like, anyway, I enjoy the magic of Star Wars. I enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I enjoy lightsabers. I enjoy force use. I think all of that stuff is dope, right?
Yeah.
I love the spectacle of Star Wars. Like, I love it, right? I also cringe having to listen and watch Star Wars at the same time.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just don't agree with that. I really think the storylines are really good. Now the Skywalker saga, been done over. Not really caring for that. I watch it because it's Star Wars, right?
Right.
I'm gonna watch all the episodes because it's Star Wars in general, the movies, the whole nine, right?
Same, honestly, same.
Yeah, and it's the side stories and all the other, things that come with Star Wars. Yes, it has a lot to do with the Force and obviously with the Jedi and the Sith, so on and so forth. But when they dig into certain storylines for certain characters, it does get into depth of what happened, the background, the information. Now, mind you, yes, some of those storylines can be repetitive. Some of those storylines can have very similar factions of what's going on, what the background is, why they become this, why they become that, why they do this, why they do that, right? Like the Darth Maul, his infatuation with Obi-Wan Kenobi was the most hell-bent storyline you could tell. But in some aspects, when you read it, watch it, however you want to put it, you felt the reason why he was doing it. You get it, you understood it.
So,
and
you know what? That kind of supports what I was talking about, though. Darth Maul is a perfect example.
Right.
It has nothing to do with or very little to do with the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
Has an amazing story, and they only expand on it in little bits, right?
Yeah.
That's not the focus of the story that they're trying to tell overall.
Right.
Darth Maul could have had his own movie. When they teased him at the end of Solo, I was losing my stuff, man, because I was like, yes, let me see more of this. Him in Clone Wars, him in Rebels, definitely amazing character. But we only get small bits of that, and the fan base loves the side stuff. They love these side characters, and they're doing their own thing, but we only get snippets. Visions came and gave us a whole season of nothing to do with the Skywalkers, and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
That's what they suffer from. So I'm glad that they're done with Skywalkers. But whatever they do next, hopefully will be a lot more.
I don't know. It's like the ridiculousness of making the Death Star again and then making it bigger.
So
right?
stupid.
You
made 3? Y'all made 3?
Y'all made 3?
Well, that's the whole point I'm saying. In generally speaking, I don't want to go ahead and watch. That's why, I'm not the hugest fan in reference to the movies, right? I don't really care for. I mean, they messed up so many things in movies. They have so many flaws in the movies that even the acting is bad. I mean, if you want to get critical about it, the 70s and 80s Star Wars, the original 4, 5, and 6 were they should have let that be. I didn't need no sequels. I didn't need to know a whole different storyline and then carry it on for 9 total movies.
Agree.
Right? I didn't need that. I don't care for that. I'm a fan henceforth while I watch them, while I'll purchase those items, right? But if you read the books outside of all of that, like there's so much more to, like you said, Cerv, they have so much more stories to tell. And I think what a lot of people miss is that they only follow the movies. They don't really follow the whole books, comics, any of that, right? Like it's a rarity that you hear people talk about those kind of things. Like I was speaking about the 12 original Sith. That storyline is the shit, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I know you guys are familiar with it.
Honestly, I'm not. Like, okay, so I haven't read all the books. I watch a lot of the shows. So, like, a lot of the Star Wars shows that come out, I'll definitely, watch those things, right?
Yep.
I don't read a lot of the books. I read some of the Star Wars comics, so, I'm not ultra in love with Star Wars to drive me. Like, okay, I read more things that are based off anime. So I read more light novels than I ever read books based off of like Star Wars or Star Trek or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like light novels are like anime will inspire me to go read an effing book before Star Wars will inspire me to read a book.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to have that certain appeal to it, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I say, like, in general, like, I don't care for the movies. The hell with the movies. They did them poorly. I don't think they did a great job with them. The storylines are all ass backwards in those. And with that being said, that sort of fell off the marker for me once they started doing the extra 3 episodes at the end to finish the saga. Right.
Right.
Cool. Awesome. I would like I agree with you guys. They should definitely bring into the more other storylines from the other areas of the galaxy, because it's a goddamn galaxy. There's so much more going on.
Like, oh my god,
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get off Star Wars and Star Trek, but that's honestly, in my opinion, why Star Trek is better, right? It's like every show has a different captain, right?
Yep.
There's like 6-7 different mega, enemies to fight in the entire galaxy for them to deal with. They go to planets on scientific missions. It's just, I don't know, whatever. But
it's definitely expansion for sure.
Right. We're running. This hour's cruising by, so we're gonna get a Star Wars.
God damn.
I don't even like them that much compared to the other things.
I was just gonna say, you know what?
Well, thank you for just tolerating with me, guys.
You know what one of my favorite sci-fi series is? The movies when I was a kid, I just couldn't get enough of. They're like the original Planet of the Apes movies.
Okay,
God, I love those.
Yep.
So,
man, I never got tired of those. It is so good, and they made a lot of them too. Like there's way more than 3 movies. There's a lot of them.
Oh my
I'm
god.
a huge fan. Okay, so my least favorite. Since I brought this up earlier, my least favorite science fiction is Doctor Who.
Oh, could never get into it. I gave it a chance. Don't like it.
Look, it's got amazing writers and amazing stories, right? I did watch most of Doctor Who with David Tennant because it really was spectacular. Okay?
Mm-hmm. The first one, right?
No, that is like that. He's like the 10th Doctor, dude.
Oh shit!
Ever since I was a child, I thought that Doctor Who was meh. I think it is poorly recorded. I think it has horrible special effects. Everything visually about Doctor Who disturbs me. Also, Battlestar Galactica. I feel the same way about Battlestar Galactica.
I agree with you there too.
So fucking cheap. Oh
I never got into
god!
It.
Like,
the production is like really low, dude. It's they had like $20 to put together their sets.
Like, I cannot with either one of those shows visually. I cannot. They're just so unappealing to me.
You know what they remind me of, and y'all have to remember this. It was after school program, VR Troopers.
Oh yeah, but I love VR Troopers.
But it's like it sort of gives the same appeal. But VR Troopers had such better quality. It did. Like Power Rangers had a better quality than Battlestar Galactica.
Lord, like Battlestar Galactica was so bad. So I tried the new one as well. I felt like it was the same shitty quality.
Oh no,
that's horrible.
Oh my god. Okay, so my favorite science fiction though, is right. I ain't gonna lie. My favorite science fiction right now is Foundation.
Okay.
I keep telling y'all to watch fucking Foundation.
Yep.
That is next level stuff. The new Dune movie was fantastic. Like, all right, so I made my son watch the old Doom movie the day before the new Doom movie came out. He was like, I don't know what just happened, but that movie was awesome, right? Because they have 2.5 hours to explain all of 3 books, right, in that first movie. So the new Doom movie, the first of the new trilogy, is 2.5 hours.
Nice.
And they explain a whole look. The new Doom series is freaking, and Doom in general is just freaking amazing.
Yeah, I hate how people have been negatively talking about Dune.
I don't know how. I don't know what they were watching.
I feel like people just weren't paying attention or something. Like, I really don't like, and I think I said this in a previous episode, almost everybody I know that watches, like, I have no idea what that was about. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? They said everything plainly and clear through the whole movie. Like, it was very clear what was happening.
Every concept in that movie. If you walked through, okay, I'm gonna be real with you. If you paid attention to Dune, seriously, you just didn't sit there and just glaze over the visuals, right? So if you listen to them and you paid attention, and one, I watch everything with subtitles, right? So I do hear and see everything that they say. So I do get a full, thing of what's going on. Everything was super clearly explained in the new Doom movie. Like, you should walk away from that understand. If you watched the original Doom, you should walk away from the new Doom movie understanding everything the original Doom movie was trying to do.
Yeah, man, and you know what, even visually, the way that the machines moved, the concepts behind them were just so different than what you see in a lot of sci-fi movies. They did such a good job. The little dragonfly flyer, I could not take my eyes off of that thing the whole time.
The drill weapon that goes through the shield. Oh my god!
Or even just the whole concept of the voice right at the start of the film. I was just, whoa, what is that?
Yes.
I was interested the whole way through. I hate how people.
You haven't seen it yet, Ace?
I have not. I haven't had an opportunity. I got to go ahead and watch that as well. But I know
on HBO Max. If you have it, you ain't got to go to the theater.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You ain't watched it yet? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have HBO Max too. I'm guilty.
Yeah, because me and my son, man, we both loved it. We were both just sitting there like, wow.
So, okay,
can't
I go to a lot of you guys. Right now, my favorite go-to right now for sci-fi is Apple TV Plus.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, so Invasion is killing it right now. Invasion is so good. C is so good. For All Mankind is so fucking good. And Foundation rules the roost over there at Apple Plus. I'm telling you.
C looks really good too.
They are killing the sci-fi game over there. Like, that's their bread and butter, right?
You know what? And nobody talks about that either. Like, I haven't seen any of them, but you don't hear about, like, I don't know what's up with their marketing or whatever, but I don't hear about anything that they've done.
Back when I used to write Facebook posts, I was writing posts about these shows, right? Like, I talk about these shows. Every last one of them is a winner. Like, every last one honestly, all of their shows are hits.
Nice.
Apple don't fail at shit.
No.
Right? If they put money at it, it's because it's awesome. And if you don't have an Apple TV Plus subscription, so you can just watch their shows, I'm telling you, you are all the way fucking up.
No, and I told myself I'm gonna plan that out because I don't know if I want to pay for that enough to where I'm renewing it, but I do want to like plan out let me get a couple months of this and like watch this and then this and then this and then this.
Every show on there is a banger, and this shows that I still ain't watched yet that I know are good. Like, I bet you M. Night Shyamalan's show is good. Servant, that's another sci-fi show they got on there. Right?
I did hear about that one. Yeah.
I bet you that's killing it, honestly. Right?
What's that one Tom Hanks sci-fi one?
Oh, that's on Disney Plus, and I still haven't watched that yet, and it's called Finch. And I keep meaning to sit down and watch Finch, but it's so on Disney Plus, Tom Hanks has one of his new disaster movies where he's by himself in the world. It's him, a dog, and a robot he built. And we effed up the environment. We got these mega storms, and he's trying to make it someplace safe. with him, his dog, and his robot. It's called Finch.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's on. It's either on Disney Plus or it's on Apple TV Plus. It might be on Apple TV Plus.
I'm looking at my phone right now. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Right, it's on Apple TV Plus. So I keep meaning to sit down and watch that as well, and I haven't. But they have not missed on any of the shows that I have watched. I'd say with my other go-to for sci-fi though, Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they got some cool stuff on there. They got a lot of cool stuff on there.
They do. They just released last week a six-show anthology called Solos. Right? You know how I've been writing my connected anthology stuff, and I was like, this is gonna be the next wave of anthologies, right?
Oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that. It looks really good.
Solos.
They're like all the individual stories.
Mine. All right. So they use the word solo on multiple levels, right? So each story is with a singular actor, and give me 1 minute.
You know what? I am actually afraid to watch though.
Huh? What's that?
All right. Well, here I'll let him go on.
No,
but they do each story with a singular actor, largely either talking to themselves or doing a monologue or talking to an AI, right? So it's solo in that way. Then at the end, the last episode, you realize that all of these things are connected in a way, and the last character is put in a situation called a solo. Right? That's their living situation. Right? Like it's good on so many levels. They also did Electric Dreams, which is a whole bunch of short stories by Philip K. Dick. So Philip K. Dick wrote the movie. He wrote the book that the movie Blade Runner is based off. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Oh, okay.
He also wrote. He wrote a lot of stuff. Actually, Philip K. Dick wrote a lot of stuff. But they have a anthology based off of his works on there, which is amazing. Like, there's a lot of good sci-fi that
that's another one that I need to figure out how I'm gonna watch too. I heard this new Blade Runner cartoon is like really, really good too.
Oh, that's on Crunchyroll.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, if you look, I haven't watched it yet, so if you want to come over and watch it, we can have him view it.
Yeah, I might have to do that one day because I hear that's pretty good. I like some Blade Runner.
Yeah, me too. I like some Blade Runner as well. And
you know what I was just telling Ace? You know what I'm afraid to watch? I'm afraid to watch this Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, it's bad.
I am so terrified. I love.
Don't. Look,
I have to. I can't not. I have to.
I tried. Okay, one. The little homie was like, "Yo, let's do a show about how bad it is." I was like, "Fine, I'll watch it, and we can talk about how bad it is." It is so bad, I can't watch it.
I'm ridiculously let down by that, and I'm so afraid of starting it up. Like every single time I see it on Netflix, I'm like, I know I got to, but
just don't do it. Netflix has got some good sci-fi in there too. Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Yeah, the new season just came out, huh?
No,
it's been around for a minute.
No, the new episodes or whatever are. Well, I get notifications out of that crap. That's one reason why I was asking.
Then maybe it came out like last night or something.
Yeah, because I got a notification.
Because I was just looking at it. I was just cruising through Netflix and seeing Lost in Space. It didn't say new episodes.
I remember when I saw the '90s movie, the Lost in Space, like in the '90s, man. Mm-hmm. I loved that as a kid, and I was I need to find the book. I need to find everything, and I went nuts with Lost in Space stuff. I absolutely love it.
They have an anthology on there called Love, Death, and Robots, which is amazing.
Oh, I keep forgetting to check that. Everybody says it. I'll love that.
Love, Death, and Robots is so damn good. It's so good. Look, some of the animation on there will blow your mind, dude.
Yeah, I hear that's a good one. I need to check that out.
It's really good.
I need to watch the part 2 of the Masters of the Universe.
Oh, that came out?
Yep.
Oh, I do need to watch that. Yeah,
I
absolutely
just
need to watch
saw. I
part
just
two of
saw
Master of the
that.
Universe. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Revelation is good. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Well,
boom,
I
boom.
was just
Yeah.
real quick before anything because I know we run out of time. Whatever. Because we already know that Dune was they remade it, right? And they're doing it correctly this time around. And the movie I was thinking about, and I just saw the actual movie, Highlander.
Oh, I love
And
Highlander. I watch that like every month.
I'm like, I want a movie. I want a new movie. Bring it up. I want the whole.
Oh, they
cast.
should remake Highlander.
I
It
think
would be such a great time for them to do that.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god, yes, I love. Oh my. Okay, so, all right. Honestly, my favorite science fiction movie, right? Just movie. One time, hit it, quit it. Thank you, ma'am. Movie. Arrival.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I love Arrival.
and it's good. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is such a different take on the genre altogether.
Yeah,
Oh,
There's definitely not another movie like it.
that's why I think I love it so much. To be honest with you, and I'm with you with Interstellar as well. I'm
Yeah.
also a huge fan of The Martian.
Oh, I love The Martian.
Yeah, you can honestly
Man.
all three of those movies they came out kind of back to back to back.
Yeah.
They were all really, really good sci-fi science movies.
Mhm.
Man, Matt Damon killed that movie. You know that The Martian is a movie that ever since I got interested into physics, in my like early 20s, The Martian is a question I've always wondered what would happen if this happened. And then when somebody made a movie of it, I'm like, wait, somebody made a movie about the exact thing I've been thinking about. That's
The
crazy.
Martian is fantastic. I'll tell you what another good piece of sci-fi is. It's a docu-series, so it's not quite science fiction, but it is, right? So you have real life scientists talking about it, and then you have actors doing what what the real life scientists are talking about, and also living like a drama, on it. But Mars, National Geographic's Mars.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I've been meaning to check that out. I heard that's really good.
That is fire. Like, look, the acting is good. The information that they're giving out is, real information. Like, you really fall in love with the characters. Like, it's dramatic. Like, Mars is fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because I love real science. You can talk real science to me all day, and I will
That's
love
why
you.
I was surprised you don't like Star Trek.
Yeah, it surprises me too, if I'm being honest, man, because it is actual, real scientific theories and things that go into that.
And
Um,
okay, honestly, the real winner for Star Trek. I'm gonna wrap up the show with this. The real winner for Star Trek is the Society.
Hmm.
Right? They have conquered their humanity's need for things through science. And because of that, it allows humanity as a whole to be benevolent to the rest of the universe.
So they're a type 2
Class
civilization?
almost class 3 civilization. Yeah.
Okay.
They've figured out how to bend and warp space so they can travel pretty much anywhere they want in the galaxy. Through replicator technology, they can make anything that they need and or want. So
that's
any
awesome.
food, any shelter, anything that you need can be made with replicator technology. Right?
Mm.
They've mastered healthcare almost through magic. It's magic science, it seems like, right? And they've already set on a course to being a perfect society. They don't use money because they can make anything with replicator technology, right? So there's no need for money in their world. So
Right.
everything is free from education to healthcare, all the things that like. That's what really wins Star Trek is the society. Like,
That's kind of what we strive for. People don't know it yet, but those are ultimate human goals, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We can't even figure out how to be a type 1 civilization yet. But those are the big goals. That's where the real eye in the prize really is. And like nobody knows about that stuff. I hate that like nobody knows about this.
Now, that's what I was like. You don't like Star Trek? Like, what the fucking universe hole did I fall into that served on? I'm like, that seems like it's right where you parked your car.
Yeah, and see, I think, I really need to give it a more chance now that I've matured a little bit. I think I might enjoy it.
You know what? I think if you've ever tried to start watching Star Trek from the original Star Trek, then that's been the problem. Again, if you were not just watching that on television, right, as a child or as an adult at that time, then that is dated and weird and makes no sense, right? But if you started Next Generation, if you start with Picard, there's no way that you're gonna be like, I don't like Star Trek.
Yeah, and honestly, you kind of nailed it on the head. I just had really awkward childhood and teenage experiences with the original, and just kind of turned me off. So
yeah. You watch Next Generation, especially like there's a lot of places you can just watch it straight up. Like you watch Next Generation from the beginning, you realize that very early on they wanted to start mastering continuity, deeper storytelling. They really wanted to build interpersonal relationships on the ship. They wanted to bring back, villains and concepts like Next Generation is honestly masterful. Voyager is good. Deep Space Nine is great. Like there is all the Star Trek series that come after Star Trek.
And they're still making them, right? Isn't there one
Picard
currently going on?
Look, we're waiting for Picard season 2 right now, which is
no, I know back. About Picard, but wasn't there another one?
Oh yeah, there's like Starfleet or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So actually, they got 2 shows running. Yeah, it's like Star Trek, Starfleet Commander, or something like that. And Picard is running, and Picard is bringing back all the characters from Next Generation. So they brought back
it looks like
a
some
good chunk of them.
Old man season. Logan kind of.
It is. It is. It's so good. Look, it is some old man. It's some old man Picard stuff. It is so good. Look, me and Chris was in here like, wow, what? Oh my God! Like, yo, Picard is the first episode is like, like yo. But
it don't look bad.
It wouldn't mean nothing to you if you ain't watch Next Generation, right? And that's the bigger thing with Star Trek that we were saying. It's so encapsulated that if you're not engaging in the shows, then the movies make no sense, or you have no connection to them really, right? Like because it's really about the show. Everything else is an extension of the show, which is massive and spans 50 years now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. It's not like they're gonna be like, yeah, we got to keep bringing back James Kirk, right? Even though Picard gets brought back a lot, right? But it's because he's like seriously, like in people's minds, the captain of the Enterprise. Like, he's Starfleet commander, okay? Like, freaking Picard, right?
He's
like,
that dude, right?
Yeah, he's like ran the whole thing and then retired, and he's still out here doing missions. You know what I'm saying? He's Picard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yep.
It is different with him too, because he's not just I'm the commander of the Enterprise, right? Sometimes he's the commander of all of fucking Starfleet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He gets promoted and stuff. Like Star Trek has natural progression, and like it feels okay. Star Trek feels like Marvel, right? And Star Wars feels like DC.
Yep. God damn it! I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say it. God damn it!
That's what it feels like. Star Trek feels like Marvel. But yeah, I think if both of you started Next Generation, you'll have completely different feelings about Star Trek. Definitely, Kelvin, Deep Space Nine for you.
Okay. Wasn't that like late 90s?
Yeah, that's late 90s. It's got Avery. Okay, so do you guys remember Spencer for Hire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spencer for Hire, he had a black dude that worked with him named Hawk.
Yes.
Okay,
I know who you're talking about.
So that dude plays the Captain Sisko. He plays Captain Sisko on Deep Space Nine, right?
Okay.
He also had his own spin-off show called Hawk, for all of you who don't know that, which was much better than Spencer for Hire, by the way. We're not okay. So we're not exactly at an hour yet because we were late today. But we are getting close to the end of the show. any suggestions for the people out there, sci-fi, that you think that they should be watching? What should the people be watching?
I'm never not gonna plug Interstellar. Whenever people ask me about that, I hate that I even have to explain because like there's just so much that goes into it. So if I have to plug anything, that's my favorite sci-fi, anything of all time. I could watch that a million times and not be bored. Check that out. And I don't think we asked Ace, what would you plug? What's your favorite
I was just
sci-fi
about to ask him
thing?
right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, nothing current I haven't seen.
Just period.
You know what? I don't have one. I don't have one right now. If I had to go with anything like with my Star Wars readings, like sci-fi-esque, I just to pick up the original 12 for the 12 Sith and how that got started. I think that's a good
story.
Yeah, that's a good storyline background. Yeah. The whole 9, just the descriptions that they give them, and you'll get everything that happens from that point for the Sith and what their premise is ultimately, beyond the point of some bag eggs here and there. But yeah, that's a good standpoint, I would say, if you had to read something.
Okay, I think that's an excellent suggestion, actually. I think some literature is actually an excellent suggestion, honestly. Read something. Read a book!
Fucking get on it!
All right, so for me, right now, I'm telling you all, foundation. So, one, as the name implies, it is actually the foundation for all science fiction that you think you love and watch. Everyone we're talking about was inspired by Isaac Asimov and the book Foundation, right? Star Wars, Star Trek, Dune, none of these things would exist without Foundation. One. Finally, they have brought it to any visual format. And it is more complex and more beautifully written than anything that you have ever witnessed in this genre. Outside of Foundation, though, I want to give an offbeat suggestion. Not offbeat, but want to give a suggestion for something that I think everybody should watch, science fiction, because it was just excellent. It is based off a couple of movies from the 60s and 70s. HBO put it out. It was fantastic. Everyone should watch Westworld.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
That show is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I wouldn't call that offbeat. That is all the way science fiction.
That's spot on.
I said offbeat. because I haven't said nothing about it, or whatever. I just came out of like nowhere with it. Right? I meant to say like more left field, but
yeah.
Westworld. If I wasn't telling you to watch Foundation as a series, I'd be telling you to watch Westworld as a series.
Yes.
Fantastic show.
I think it ended well.
Oh yeah.
I love Westworld. That was so good.
They did a really fine job. The acting, it's just so hard to not enjoy every single actor that they put on that show. Yeah. Everybody does a phenomenal job at their roles.
Yeah, no, HBO don't have too much science fiction on it as far as shows go. They do a lot of dramas, a lot of period pieces, a lot of coming of age stuff or whatever. But they opted to pick up Westworld and Raised by Wolves. Okay, so side note, Raised by Wolves. I know I've mentioned it on the show quite a few times. But it is the most hyper-violent thing I have ever seen on television. And we just came off this year of Invincible.
Oh yeah.
Right? Raised by Wolves deals with concepts ain't none of y'all ready for. I'm talking about concepts like Eden cycle. I'm talking about like, should you raise humanity with or without religion? I'm talking about, are the religious experiences that people are having real or not? I mean, it's talking about what is the edge of biology?
Ooh, okay.
What does it mean to actually be alive? Right, to be an organism. Like, yo, Raised by Wolves that show is dealing with concepts. Like, yo,
that sounds really interesting. Like, those are thoughts I think about all the time, right? Just concepts like that, the big what if questions, right? That sounds really interesting.
let me paint a little bit of the scene for you guys. We got a little bit of time to run out on. So, Raised by Wolves, okay? Humanity has destroyed the Earth through war. We made these killer androids that once set upon mankind, the enemy of whatever other men, they just pretty much went and destroyed everything, right?
Mm.
Humans are like, hey, Kepler 22b looks habitable. Let's send some the two factions decided to go about this two different ways. The religious, you have these religious zealots, and you have these people who are like, yo, I just want to live and shit, right? That's where the war is happening, right? Religious zealots take a slow moving ship to Kepler 22b, right? The non-religious people send 2 androids and like 6 embryos to Kepler 22b to start new humanity, right? That is the backdrop of Raised by Wolves.
Okay, and you know what? That already gets me interested. Real science here. 22B is an actual candidate for where we might end up going.
I'm surprised you haven't.
That's pretty cool.
Fucking watched this shit yet. And all right, for those of you who don't know what an Eden cycle is, it is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's the idea that humans keep going from planet to planet. Every time we fuck up a planet, we find another inhabitable one. We think that we've got the magic key, and we're going to reduce civilization and remove technology and everything, and we're going to start from scratch, right? That's an Eden cycle. And Raised by Wolves paints an Eden cycle that's in a loop between Earth and Kepler 22b.
Okay, man. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to check it.
I'm amazed you have not watched that already. Like, look, and then it's hyper violent. Like, wow. Like,
okay.
Holy
I've seen
shit.
I've seen some commercials and it looks pretty nuts. Some of the like uncut commercials.
It's bananas.
Really
like
stuff, just blood everywhere.
Like, then it's not only is it hyper violent, but like I can't even like there's not even a word for what I'm trying to relay right now. Like, the layers of psychological things that we should never discuss, that they are like, I'm bold enough to put this on camera. Man.
Okay, I like that.
Man. Like,
you've got me sold. I'll be checking that one out.
Man, like, Raised by, and you should be watching it now because season 2 comes out early 2022.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
So now's the time to catch up on Raised by Wolves. Honestly, it's the most visceral experience I have ever had visually. And like I said, we just came off a year of Invincible.
Okay.
Invincible was pretty amazing.
Like, Invincible ain't got shit
on this. No, none, nothing.
Like, this shit crazy. Look, Raised by Wolves is all the way fucking crazy.
Yes, it's like, definitely
like, it was like, how many groups can we offend with one show?
Okay. Yeah, I'm all for that. I love the conversation.
Let's go forward with offense. We think it's a great idea.
You know what? Speaking of forward with offense, I'm surprised it's a great sci-fi just thing, period, too.
Wait, I think you broke up there, so what'd you say?
Oh, I'm surprised nobody brought up Rick and Morty this whole time, too, because that's just
my God.
good sci-fi thing.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't brought it. You know what? Because it's so on the edge of lunacy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, yeah.
It's not your traditional sci-fi, even though the main character is a scientist.
Oh,
Right.
it's a pretty damn smart show. They go over some
Well,
very.
we can say Futurama is also a fucking genius show.
Oh yeah, Futurama.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
side note, Futurama is written by like 16 PhDs.
You can kind of tell they go over some pretty smart things in that show that
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
go
yeah,
over a lot of people's heads.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they be having like formulas for like plank theory and shit up on the
Yeah.
whiteboards and shit. Like
No,
like,
they've done it like more than once. They've done it
right.
like a bunch of times.
They're,
Yeah,
literally the smartest people writing the dumbest television.
yeah.
That is the smartest television. That is
That's a
the
great way to
dumbest
describe
television.
that.
Like
Yeah,
it's such an Ouroboros. Like Futurama is so stupid and so smart and so stupid and so smart and and you don't know which side of it it's really on. Is it really, really smart or is it really, really stupid on purpose?
they do a really good job of masking that. I never thought about that. Really, really good job of like, hey, yeah, we know this. Do
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're so smart, we can make stupid smart.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
and they do.
And
they really
do
do.
every time. Like, Futurama is great. Like, why not Zoidberg, right? You
Oh.
know what? I was gonna say that about Star Wars and Star Trek. That's a great way to end the show, right? Why not Zoidberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Right.
not?
Why not both? Right? Why do you have to pick one or the other? Unless you just really don't like one, right? Like the other one's just
Yeah.
unappealing to you. Then fine, watch one. But I don't really think that you should fanboy over one so hard that you want to dismiss the other one.
Oh
Yeah.
no, never do that with really anything overall. Like even me not watching Star Trek, still want to give it a. Marvel, DC, enjoy them both. Why not have both? Go
Mhm.
and
Right.
enjoy both of everything. Like
Take what you want from column
all
A,
media.
take what you want from column B, right? If you
Yes.
don't like certain Marvel titles, don't read them. If you don't like
Exactly.
certain DC titles, don't read them. But do read the ones you do like. Do read the ones you do like. For
Yeah.
both. Same thing with
Oh, yeah.
the Star Wars, Star Trek things. If you're into the books, read the books. If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
into the Star Trek movies, watch the movies. Right? They
Mhm.
also got books. We ain't even talking
Yep.
about that. Star Trek's got
Yep.
worlds of
Tons.
books. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Like, so there's a whole bunch for you to pick and choose from all of these things, and a lot of these things that we're talking about come from short stories. Like Raised by Wolves is a short story that that we was talking about Blade Runner earlier. Who directed Blade Runner? Ridley Scott.
Really Scott, yeah.
It's a short story that Ridley Scott came upon that he fell in love with. It's closely aligned with another great science fiction work that he's responsible for, which is Aliens. And I don't know if you guys have been watching new Alien stuff like Prometheus and all that stuff, but that stuff is good.
Yeah.
I don't like how people hate those. I enjoy.
I love the new Aliens movies.
For Halloween, I introduced my son into the first Alien movie,
Nice.
and we had a lot of fun watching that.
But it aligns a lot with a lot of the concepts you see in Aliens, especially the later Aliens movies.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Ridley Scott directs the first episode, and he produces the show, and it's fucking great.
Nice.
Like, look. I tell you guys to watch a lot of things. I realize, right? I watch a lot of things. I get that. Compared to the normal person, I'm just a ton of media, right? But watch Raised by Wolves. Watch that shit. Like, stop this show when we stop. Go sit down in front of your television and watch Raised by Wolves. Like, it is that damn good.
Well, you definitely have me a lot more interested than I was before, so
So good.
yeah, I will give it a chance.
But this has been Comic Cinema Clash. We let it run a little long because we were a little late today.
You know what? If we're just real quick before we go,
Sure.
I couldn't sit here and talk about science fiction stuff without mentioning, for anybody that's watching this, the James Webb Telescope launches, I think, on the 22nd of December. This is one of the greatest things that we have ever sent into space.
Yeah,
Deserves
super
your
excited.
attention.
Super
Go
excited.
and check it out.
Yeah,
All right, now I'll shut up.
I'm super excited. No, I think that was a great shout out. We're gonna try something different at the end of the show. We want you guys to leave us a comment on your favorite science fiction. Suggest some science fiction that we didn't talk about that we should be on, we should be watching, we should be reading. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about the show. But definitely tell us what sci-fi we should be watching. Right? Let us know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we missed one.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we missed a lot. I'm missing
Oh,
some,
yeah.
like, okay, like I know there's people like, you didn't talk about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, how did we not bring that up? Yeah, okay.
One, because I'm not the hugest fan. I get it. It's funny, right? Whatever. But it's also kind of dumb. And every version of the book is different. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
So like every time that they make a new edition, it's purposefully different, right? Which is mind-numbing and crazy.
Yep.
Right? Like it's like a joke. Like the whole book is a joke and 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 a joke. Like it's it's more humor than science fiction. But I'm sure people are like, how did you not bring it up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But goodbye and thanks for the fish. Look, this has been I've been Mr. Solution. These are my partners in hosting. Sound Ace 221 to Cerv. And this has been Comic Cinema Clash. You guys have a great one. Thanks for joining us.